Have you ever heard some people say, just follow your passion, or if you love what you do, you will never have to work a single day in your life? Now, this never really sat well with me because I remember when I first heard all this stuff, I was in a mid six-figure debt and I was restarting my business and I was thinking, do what you love? I mean, what the I'm just trying to feed my family. I don't feel like I got an option to choose what I love to do because I need to do whatever I can to be able to provide for my family. Now, if this resonates with you, I want you to watch till the end of this video because I really believe that loving what you do is true, but it also depends on which season of life you are in. I think the scary thing that people are doing nowadays is taking what someone said and using it as an absolute truth for them. So they think that if they're not doing something they're passionate about, or if they think that they're not doing something they love, then they're doing something wrong. Now, most of the time, the people that are saying do what you love or just follow your passion, they are already doing well to a certain extent in their life. They are already financially free without a lot of responsibility, so they can get to say stuff like that. And I think what most people need to do right now is to practice critical thinking and ask themselves, is this advice I hear online true? And even if it's true, is it relevant to me at where I am right now? So I can almost guarantee you that most people that says do what you love, they didn't start out doing what they really love. And this is definitely true for me because when I first started, I was in debt. I needed to do something that I can provide for my family now. I didn't have much option to choose between the things I love or don't love. And over time, I learned to appreciate doing the things that I don't love. I didn't really love doing Facebook ads. I didn't really love doing the numbers and finances of my company. But I had to do it when I first started because I had no other choice. And of course, today I've hired people to take over those jobs. But I always appreciate that I did it at the beginning because it gave me a different perspective in my business. So here's the thing, I believe that there are 4 emotions that drive us at different stages of our life, and love is actually just one of them, and usually is the last stage. So here's what I believe is the first emotion that usually drives us. Number 1 is fear. So fear is usually the first emotion that drives us to do something or to start something. So let's use starting a business for example. See, most of us, we started a business not really out of passion or for love, but usually out of fear at the beginning. At least most of us. Now, there are some exceptions of people who started because they love something they are doing, but I'll address this later on. But most of us, we started because of fear driving us. We fear that we do not have enough. We fear getting left behind. We fear that our 9-to-5 job isn't going to provide us long term, and we want to provide a better life for us or for our family. I remember starting out my first business simply because my parents wasn't rich and they were always lacking and struggling with money. And I feared growing up becoming like my parents. They were good people, but they were not so good with making money and keeping money. And the lack of money has always been a source of stress and suffering in my family growing up. And so that fear was that emotion that drove me to start something because I didn't want to be like my parents. And so if fear was the first emotion that drove you to start something, you are not abnormal. Don't be too quick to label things right or wrong, but rather ask yourself, is this serving you at that point of your life? In fact, let me know in the comment section if this speaks to you, if you started out your business because of fear rather than because you wanted to do something you love. Now, the next emotion after fear that drives us, I believe, is hate. I remember when I first started my business, many of my close friends and relatives was very skeptical that I would succeed. And a lot of naysayers and trash talkers were saying things that I didn't like to hear. And so what drove me to do better and to be a better version of myself was really hate, because I wanted to prove them wrong. I will read really cheesy motivational quotes like, work until your signature becomes an autograph. Another cheesy quote was, if you're absent during my struggle, don't expect to be present during my success. I think that was said by Will Smith. Now, can anyone relate to this stage? Be honest, let me know in the comment section below. So using hate as an emotion to drive you at the beginning isn't necessarily a bad thing. Now again, it's what drives you most at the stage of your life. Now, I was able to use hate to push myself to become the #1 top sales in my previous company. And of course, being the #1 top sales, I have learned a lot of things along the way. So it's not exactly a bad thing. Now, hate also allows me to find out what I like or don't like. See, a lot of people say, do what you love. But the truth is that we don't really know what we love until we try a few things. And when we try a few things, we realize that, okay, we don't like this, I hate this, I hate that, and therefore we move on to the next thing. So for example, when I became the top #1 sales in my previous company, I realized that I actually hated meeting people one-on-one and doing sales 101. It's not that I hate people, but it's just that I feel that it's not the best use of my time, because I remember I'll be going for 10 sales appointments every single day, and there'll be traveling time, and you'll be meeting them for a meal, and you'll be talking about the weather and things that were not really objective. So each appointment will take me about an hour, sometimes more, so that's already 10 hours gone. And I have a sales team, so it means that I have to take time to motivate them, train them, help them overcome sales objections and all that stuff. And over time, this became really tiring for me after doing it for 7 years. And when I lost everything, it was actually a great reset for me. I asked myself if I had to do it all over again. I said to myself, I wouldn't want to go through this entire thing again. And it led me to a better question was, what is a better way I could reach more people with lesser time? And that was what led me to digital marketing. So because I hated doing sales 101, it led me to digital marketing. And today I run a digital marketing agency that is generating 7 figures a year. And that led to a creation of our new marketing software that is already at about $3 to $5 million valuation. So if I didn't hate doing sales 101, I wouldn't have found a more effective way to market and sell my product and services. The best thing about digital marketing was that I could record videos and automate my sales process, which takes me out of the picture. So without hate, this wouldn't be possible. And that's why don't be too quick to label it as bad or good, but rather, does it serve me? And it did serve me at that point of my life. But eventually I soon realized that living in hate is miserable, and I had to rely on another emotional source to drive me forward. And that's the next emotion. Number 3 is responsibility. You see, fear and hate is more self-serving. You're mainly doing it for yourself. For example, fear of not enough, right? You're fearing that you don't have enough, so you're doing something because of that. Or you want to prove your haters wrong. That's out of hate, and it's very self-serving. Again, not to label it right or wrong, but does it serve you for that season of your life? If it serves you, great. Use it to get to the next level. But what got you here won't get you there. So that's where responsibility comes in. And responsibility comes in usually when you have achieved a certain level of success and your intention now is to help others more than serving yourself. So this is one of the main emotions driving me today. I believe it's about 60 to 70% responsibility driving me, and then the remaining is love. I will go to work every day, no longer because of fear or hate, but the responsibility I have for my clients, to my software users, to help them to achieve the results that they want, to help them to achieve the results to reach massive amount of people. And I feel this strong responsibility and moral obligation to help them to achieve that. And so that's what drives me today. I also have strong responsibility for my team members, especially those that followed me when I had nothing. I said in one of my last videos that I wanted to build a bigger company, not just for myself anymore, because if I have a company that's making $1 million or $2 million a year, that's pretty awesome for myself, but I wouldn't be able to share that with other people, because if $1 million, if I share it with 5 or 10 of my team members, it's not as much money as you think. But if I can build a company that's $10 million or $100 million, then I could have more to share with my team and have more opportunities for them to grow into. And that's what really is driving me today. And of course, lastly, the last emotion that drives us is love. I believe that once you have a strong foundation and you have achieved a level of success and fulfill a level of responsibility of taking care of the people that you need to take care of, that's where you really can start going into doing the things that you love. So here's the thing, the people that says do what you love, follow your passion, most of them have already went through the first 3 stages, but we don't hear about it. We hear them saying, do what you love, and then we just take it as something that we need to apply in our life right now. So then we get confused, thinking that we need to start with loving what we do, not knowing there are 3 stages before love. And we think that it's wrong to be doing something out of fear or hate at the beginning. And I think that's the purpose of me doing this video. Don't label it right or wrong. Use whatever emotion that's driving you at your current stage to reach the next level, but don't get stuck there. The goal is to reach a stage where you can do what you love, but you don't necessarily need to start there. Now, there are some exceptions of people who skip past the 3 stages and start doing what they love right away. It's not for everyone. I believe that there are some conditions that needs to be fulfilled. So here's an example. I didn't grow up with the right mentors, especially my parents. So no one was there to guide me or teach me, and I had to go through this journey myself to learn it. So if someone were to tell me, Gabriel, just start with love, I didn't go through the journey of fear, hate, and responsibility, I wouldn't be the man I am today. And so I wouldn't want to take away that lesson. And that's why it's important that I go through that journey myself to learn it. But if I have someone that have went through that and can teach me from young, then I wouldn't have to go through that. So let me give you an example. My daughter may not have to go through fear, hate, and responsibility, because my daughter will grow up financially free. So she don't have to worry about not having enough as long as she accepts the help that I'm going to give her. She also don't have to feel responsible for that many things because she didn't start out with a lot of responsibility. So therefore, she has a platform to do anything she wants without the fear of failing. And so by giving her that foundation, she can go ahead and start doing the things she loves right away. And this is something that my parents never gave me. When you hear someone say that they started out right away from doing something they love, check their background. Right? Do they come from a well-to-do family? Do they come from a family that provided everything for them? Do they come from a rich family? Again, ask yourself this. Is this advice true? Should I start from doing the things I love? And if someone did that, ask yourself, what is this person's background? And is his background relevant to me? And many a times you realize that it is not. So there you have it. Fear, hate, responsibility, and love. 4 emotions at different stage of your life. So it's okay not to be following your passion and doing what you love at the beginning, but that is the goal that you want to reach eventually. Use whatever emotion that drive you at the stage of your life to the next level. So let me know what's the biggest takeaway in the comment section below, and remember to like and subscribe if you have gained something valuable from this video. That's all I have for you today. Bye for now.